Welcome back to Big Brother Rewind.
The rewind. We thought the same thing at the same time. That's funny.
This is Sean,
And this is Chris.
and we are back for another week. It is week 9 inside the BB24 house, and double eviction week, big week.
Yeah, I mean, it took a bunch of balls from CBS to do this Thursday night against opening kickoff the NFL. I was impressed, irritated, and all the above. I was like, I want to watch this. I want to watch that. Just too much going on.
Big night here for Big Brother. We've only got a few cast members left, and we'll go through the list here towards the end of the show. But should we just jump into it?
Well, real quick, we're Dadnarok. We do these rewinds. If you're watching Big Brother, we do a recap every week. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are hugely interactive. So if you got something to say, let us know live on the show. We'll do it. We'll address it live. If you're watching recorded, drop it in the comments. We'll address it then as well. But yeah, like, subscribe, join the family, and we do a bunch of other things. So check out the channel and see what you like. And like I said, join us for along for the ride.
That's where we left off last week. It is the head of household competition that Michael wins, Burning Zingbot. He he ends up winning yet another competition, winning head of household.
Oh, go figure. Michael winning a competition. I'm shocked.
I know, it's crazy. It's the kind of the theme of the episode and the last couple of weeks is how Michael's continually just painted the target bigger and bigger on his back. Not only
Well,
the competition wins, but just the stuff around Kyle too.
just in general, yeah. But I think he even addressed that later, and I agree with what he said. At a certain point, the damage is done. You might as well just keep going.
Yeah, you got to
You
keep
might as well
going,
just keep
right?
on, yeah, winning what you can win, and just go from there. But the Zingbot, dude, I loved how fast he did this though. It's like you
Oh
seen his
yeah.
like analytic brain going, and like everyone barely had the bottom piece on, and he was done.
Yeah, the other house guests were pretty frustrated after this
Well,
competition.
no one was happy. Everyone looked pissed. It was
Yeah.
funny on how unhappy everyone looked.
Yeah, which Brittany tells Michael in the pantry room right afterwards. It's just like nobody was excited, and you got that feeling. Like even Terrence was like he had a big old frown on his face. Like
Well, even everyone would
yeah,
just had that like look on it like, damn, like
yeah.
they wanted to get him this time around, and it just he kept on. Yeah, there's Turner. Dude, we can't come up with Turner's name. We always blank on Turner's name.
Turner, yeah. So Turner was safe this week because of a promise that Michael made to him the previous week. Basically, it was Turner's reign. And because he pretty much, was in a position where he had to put up his final two in Kyle. He had to put him up himself just to, I guess, cure, everybody knows about the situation last week, right? So
Yeah.
Michael, kind of promised Turner that he wouldn't put him up, and as a house, I think they all kind of agreed that they wouldn't put Turner up the following week.
But I mean,
Um,
I agree with Brittany. I agree
oh
with
yeah,
Brittany's. Her mindset the whole way about what we got to get him out. He's the
yeah.
one that's going to take the shot. We got to take the shot before he does. And I mean, just to stick to his word. I mean, I guess that goes a long way as well. But it goes nowhere if you're sitting in the jury house.
Michael should have targeted Monty or Turner this week, like hands down, because this was like the first in the domino to where we get to by the end of this episode here. We get to the actual Zingbot.
Zingbot was disappointing. Zingbot was the only zing that really took place
Yeah,
was on Alyssa. The dead weight or something.
that was pretty harsh.
When he hit her with that, I'm like, ooh, that was I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was like,
I wrote them all
useless and
down.
dead weight.
Yeah, you used to be. Well, here's Turner's. You used to be a band lifer. You've been everywhere except the shower. I guess Turner's a stinky boy,
I
right?
guess, yeah, he showers once every other day or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, there's new COVID guidelines. Masks are optional unless you have a face like Michael's. I guess saying Michael's ugly.
Yeah, saying masks hide a lot of ugly. I agree that's something I always said.
All right.
Not
You've
not to
always said that
Michael.
Michael's
Not,
ugly?
not, not to Michael.
Boy, you're rude.
Just in general, when I had to wear them every day, I was like, you know what? These masks hide a lot of ugly people.
Monty's was so light. It was all your impressions, I'm Monty, I'm so boring. Like, okay, who
Yeah,
cares?
that
You
was
just got
not.
done calling Michael ugly and you just say, Monty's boring. Oh, this one is another one. BB backyard is hot. Could use something icy and cold. Can I borrow Taylor? I guess saying that Taylor's,
Just
icy and
cold
cold,
hearted.
but
Yeah, I mean, that didn't even. I mean, that didn't.
yeah, who
I don't
cares?
think it landed a whole lot.
Let's see. DG Showtime is so popular in the underground because that's where you find fossils. That was
Okay,
kind of good.
called him
He's
an old
old.
man. Uh,
That was kind of a low hanging fruit, right?
yeah, yeah.
Alyssa, you're like a heavy winter coat in the desert, dead weight and completely useless.
That was rough. Like he was waiting just to. Yeah,
And then finally, Brittany, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Seriously, where'd you get those crazy effing eyes? And
I, apparently the house got it. I'm like,
yeah, well, she's got crazy eyes. They all seem to laugh at it. She felt bad.
I feel like they were pity laughing at him though. I don't feel like. I mean, there was a couple of them that they were like, "Oh, that's rough,"
Yeah.
but they were like pity laughing at him, and I felt the same way. I was like, "Man, this was crap.
So
This
you
was
you wanted them to go harder on the house
like they
guest, huh?
have in the past." Yes, the Zingbot he's there because he has a reputation of just roasting these house guests, and he roasted one. The rest of them were just, I mean, fifth grade jokes. They were terrible.
Zing. All right, that's
Yeah,
not the
no,
zing bot.
that was. I mean, I was looking forward to it when he came back. I was like, man, that was
Yeah.
boo.
Monty continues his discussions with not only Turner but other house guests too around the timing of Michael's information dump on the house as
Yeah,
far as the whole Kyle thing. He's kind of continuing to beat that drum that like this timing was totally in a game move for Michael, and it just
he
doesn't
did it
sit
when it was
well with him.
advantageous to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Brittany starts doing some work. I think Brittany felt this week that, I mean, even Brittany could recognize the size of Michael's target, right?
I think Brittany is the reason why things went the way they went this week, and she didn't even realize it.
Mm,
All the talking she started doing,
yeah,
all the talking to Monty, all the talking to Taylor here, Turner, and then Turner goes up to Michael. I mean, we haven't gotten that far yet, but there's she's in full panic mode, knowing she's got to have another plan.
right.
And it just everything that she's been working for to this point crumbles because I mean, Michael even said it. She's panicking and she talks and
Mm-hmm.
she can't keep her mouth closed. And that's what, the house started crumbling down all around her.
Yeah, she went to everybody this week. I mean, she took turns with everybody as far as like, I guess, trying to sow her own security in the house. But it didn't have the same kind of effect I think she was hoping for.
No,
This is
because she
the
really hasn't technically even really played the game the whole time.
right.
So now when she has to play it, she's not up to snuff with everyone that's been playing it the whole 50
I
some
gotta
days.
wonder. She's had a lot of conversations, but it's always been in Michael's shadow, or like she feels confident enough when like Michael's in charge, or just want to veto, where she's able. Then she can talk game to people. I don't know. I'm guessing your own perception of how you play the game is probably different than what the outside perception is. So that's tough to judge, I guess. But she tried to do something this week. Well, basically, she tried to do something that was different because she's basically just been hanging on to Michael the entire
Yeah.
time. But then she made an about face this week where she was like, hey, if we need to take a shot at, because she knows honestly, if
Yeah,
she
and even
sits,
Michael wasn't actually even disappointed. I mean, he was disappointed, but
yeah,
he wasn't shocked. He's like, "You know what? She's gotta start doing something sometime soon."
she knows if she sits in a final two with Michael, she's not winning the
She
grand
lost.
prize.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
mean, it would be a landslide.
right.
It wouldn't even be close. If they did it based on gameplay, it wouldn't even be close. Now, if there was some, you know, relationship issues why he didn't get some votes, okay, but I mean, yeah, she wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Michael ends up putting Alyssa and Terrence up for nominations. This was kind of a foregone conclusion. I think everybody just assumed these were going to be the nominations for this
And
week.
Terrence took it like a punk.
He
He
did.
really did. He took as much as like credit we gave him for that situation they went through and how
Yeah,
much of an adult he was during that.
yeah.
He was a high schooler during this.
I think as soon as he saw that face on his wall, he knew he was done. I think he knew in his heart that this was the week that he was out the door, And that's why he laughed it off as Michael was saying, "Oh, this or that or whatever." He literally just like laughed out loud at him.
Yeah, he laughed right in his face. I'm like,
He did.
wow, that's
And then
okay.
later, and we'll get there. He basically threatens Michael. He's
Yeah.
like,
Well, he threatened the whole house, even one during
yeah.
the before the vote. I'm thinking,
He's like, "Don't
yeah,
put me in the
that's
jury house because I'm just gonna like tear crap up in
I've
there
got
and
enough
talk shit
say
about
with
you."
everyone in the jury house that I could sway everybody's vote.
Right.
Dude, you couldn't even you're in the house because everyone else wanted everyone else gone. That's the only reason you got as far as you did.
Yeah.
Oh, that just his whole
Terrence.
attitude this week. We'll get into both of them,
Yeah.
but his attitude really soured me on him.
Yeah. And this is that spot where he's upstairs with Michael, just kind of telling him
I
like,
wanted
"Hey."
Michael to call him on it because he
I
said it in the
know, I
diary
wanted
room.
that too, and Michael didn't. He just kinda sat there.
I wanted Michael to call him on it. You're not going to stay by threatening me.
Right.
Yeah, where are you? What do you think you're gaining by threatening me?
Yeah,
That's kind of what I wanted him to say. And I'm like,
exactly.
and this has never actually happened.
No, and I guess Terrence was tired. I mean, this is what, Terrence's 5th time on the block,
Yeah.
and, maybe he was just over it. He even says in this conversation, "I'm just at a point in the game where I'm just like, F it." That's pretty clear by his actions this
Yeah.
week.
Oh yeah. Body language, everything.
Yeah. Turner has a conversation later. He was trying to get in front of this whole thing, as far as
Oh, the
letting.
backdoor plan to get rid of Michael.
Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, Terrence beat him to the punch and kind of let him know on that information. And Michael's downstairs, kind of recapping Terrence's conversation to him. And poor Turner's just having to sit there like, "Oh, really? Oh man, that's
Yeah,
crazy."
exactly. It's funny. I was like, in the back of his head, thinking, "Man, that was my plan. That was what
Yeah.
I was gonna do. How do I kick DJ Showtime under the turntable,
Right. Yeah.
kick him as hard as he could underneath it?" And it's
Facts.
just he didn't have to. I mean, Michael was
No.
like, but Michael knew. Michael knew. It was like, you know what? He wouldn't have been able to do that if he didn't have the head of household's essential blessing of it.
Michael
He
was
could,
grappling. He was grappling with that promise that he made Turner this week
yeah,
too.
because he
Like,
knew he made a mistake.
yep.
But he held to it. I guess he's kind of held to, his beliefs or
Yeah.
just his morals, I guess, on that aspect.
We also get further conversations. This is just more Brittany. In this case, she's talking to Terrence as far as, she was really pulling for Terrence to stay this week. She
Because
wanted,
she wanted Turner. I mean,
yeah,
or Monty. She wanted one of the
right.
two big, targets out of the house. And Terrence wasn't going to win against anybody.
No,
He wouldn't beat Brittany. I don't think he would have beaten Alyssa, quite
no,
frankly.
yeah,
Even though that he has a HOH and a veto, which he won on the exact same day, well, that Brochella or whatever was
yeah,
outside,
yeah.
and then the one that he won was against half the house, so it wasn't even a full house competition.
It's true.
So you can even like handicap that a little bit off of him.
Hmm.
And then he didn't even technically even win the head of household. He came in second place.
Come on, it's DJ Showtime. He can
Oh
win.
no, yeah, no. So I mean, even the ones he won, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna be a 1 for your 2, just
Yeah.
because how you won them.
We had it this week. Not only did we have Zingbot this week, but we had the comic book competition,
They
both
did
of
good
which,
at this. As a whole, as a house,
yeah.
they did pretty good at this as a time-wise.
I honestly thought that Alyssa had a great strategy going forth. I thought maybe she was going to win this thing because she was like, "I'm going to set them all out and look at them and see what the differences are,
Yeah,
and then go, down the hangy thing over and over again to see what order they go in." I don't think I've ever seen them do that. Normally, they go through and look at them first, and every time they like focus on one, like, okay, and then they try to like memorize as they're
yeah.
going past the thing. But ultimately, it didn't matter because old Michael there, he won again with,
And a landslide.
look at that time difference.
9 seconds. I mean, look, they were all relatively close. 13:37,
Yep.
12:13, 13:35, 13:58. I mean, they were within seconds.
He was over 3 minutes faster than the next, than second place.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah. Didn't help him though at
No, it
the end of
didn't.
this game. He
Hey
put
guys,
himself
if
in a position where he had to keep winning over and over again. That's a bad position to be in.
it happens. Hey guys, if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for joining us. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you're thinking while we're talking about this. I mean, if you Michael, look at the time difference that Michael beat everyone there. But check out the rest of the channel. See if there's anything you like there. Join our community as we continue our rewind here of this week's Big Brother.
More of Brittany.
Okay, there's those crazy eyes. I see it there.
Oh, have you not seen him the entire season?
Well, that one they're very clear.
Yeah, they're pretty prominent. Even the mirror. Look at the mirror's reflection.
Oh,
there.
the mirror makes it even look even more creepy. I didn't even see the mirror reflection.
Yeah, giving you one crazy eye. But this is her talking to Turner now, where she's telling Turner, "Oh, hey, I think maybe if we can take a shot at Michael, we need to do this." Turner, in turn, though, he's the only one to actually
in turn.
report.
I see what you did there. Turner in turn.
Yep,
is that a new movie?
He's the only one that actually reports back to Michael.
Oh, as he busted his ass walking up the steps.
Oh, that was fun. I wish I could get GIFs on here instead of just still images, because I would have played that.
That was so great. He's walking and he's just laying there in embarrassment. He's like, really? Did I just fall going up the steps?
I know. I didn't know what I just watched. I had to turn to Christina like, did he just fall up the steps? Like, yeah. And
that's
Big
the way
Brother
to do it, though.
show it.
I would rather fall up than fall down.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. One or the other.
Oh, man.
But he tells Michael, and at this point, Michael's just kind of blown away. Like, I can't believe, she's down there. This has caused a real split between Michael and Brittany, and we'll see the fallout of this towards the end here.
Yeah, I honestly believe him too when he had a conversation with Julie that we'll get to.
Yeah,
but I mean, this here, Turner was being coy. Just come out with it. You're at this point in the game. Don't act like you feel bad about it. Because if you felt bad about it, you wouldn't be up there talking to him. You're bringing this information to him for a reason.
True.
You want to split them two up as the best you can. And just trying to be cute about it isn't helping anybody, really.
We got to a final 6 or final 7 here in the house, and it's become cutthroat. This is the kind of gameplay that you want to see towards the end of the season, where there's no overall alliance, just kind of stomping out the final numbers. It's like everybody here wants to win, and everybody's trying to figure out who they need to sit next to win.
Yep. We got through that tournament poker, just surviving. Now we're getting to where you actually have to play your cards.
Right.
And it's been fun the past week or two now. And definitely this week here with the double eviction. Mm-hmm. You're seeing everyone scramble. And then there's like side alliances forming, but one of them didn't hold for a second. I think another one is going to go to the end, and we'll talk about that. I think that.
Oh, interesting. I'd be interested to hear which one you think that is. So ultimately, Michael, he does not use the power of veto. And he.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about him winning. Did he win the veto? No, okay, this is the first one. Never mind. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm confused on double veto. Okay,
this is the first one. This is from the comic book competition. He kind of slammed everybody on that one. He ends up not using the power of veto, of course. He keeps Terrence and Alyssa up on the block, as expected. That shirt on him, I swear he looks like a geeky Shaggy. Like a V-neck green t-shirt. You're just like cosplaying as Shaggy.
Waiting for Scooby to walk up behind him.
Yeah, like where's Scoob? This is just a little thing. I don't know. It seemed to be they spent like 5 minutes on this thing.
They were searching for content at a certain point.
Yeah.
When they were trying to fill 2 hours here, when they shouldn't. I didn't think they had 2 hours worth of content.
It was pretty disgusting. It was ass.
This was just ass. I guess if we're speaking Turner language. I don't know.
CBS just for a full like 5 minutes had the word ass just plastered on their screen.
What's funny, freaking Alyssa was like, he's my age, and I've got no idea what he's saying.
Gen Z, baby. Gen Z.
Oh man.
Okay, so Terrence was trying his best to do what he could do this week.
This bothered me. This really bothered me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why it bothered me.
I can probably assume, but go ahead.
This is exactly what Kyle was saying. Exactly what Kyle was saying. He was trying to get the 3 people of color in the house to work together. That's exactly the conversation he has had with Taylor there.
Yeah.
And Taylor was like, I'm not having it.
Right. Yeah, so, you could see her. She had her shades on and she was just not paying attention.
So in my opinion, it's really hypocritical. That bugged me to no end with that conversation there. And I loved how Taylor was like, go away. I don't trust the word you're saying.
Yeah, it was. it hit me like that too. I'm like, after all the last week and all the drama and just like how that all went down, and we're kind of through that, and to now I know Terrence is desperate, but that at that point to just be like, well, why not? Why can't we? Pretty much, he never said the word cookout, right?
Yeah,
But
no.
that's basically what he was saying was, why can't we do a cookout 2.0?
Yeah, well, he said me, you, and Monty. He
And
made
like,
he ran off the 3 names. I mean, anyone that's watching knows exactly what he's talking about.
yeah.
So it's
So
like,
I
man,
don't
come
know.
on.
It had to be just coming, being on the block, coming out of desperation. But you're right. Like, he went to Taylor, he went to Monty, and neither one of them were, very
Neither
big
of
up
them were
on that
hearing it.
idea.
No, they
Yeah.
weren't receptive to it at all.
And
Which
if
is
you
gonna be
were,
interesting to know to get, Kyle's opinion on it once he sees this. You know what I
yeah, well,
mean?
yeah, I guess I don't care his opinion anymore, honestly.
That's kinda true too.
But I think if you were gonna do something like that, form an alliance around you had to do that, like the
Oh,
cookout. And I know you didn't watch that season, but like the cookout, they formed like the first week. They held on to that alliance the entire season, and there were people on that alliance that didn't even like each other. Like, there were so many times in the game where I thought for sure, like, "Oh, this is it. This is where the cookout breaks up, and because of this drama this week, they're gonna vote one of the persons out,"
yeah.
and they never did. They always held tight to it, no matter what drama happened during the week, and they earned their place as, like, kind of an historic alliance because they formed so early and they stayed intact until the very end. It was insane. But
I'm
at this
actually
point,
and I'm
even just
interested because
as
I've got Paramount. It's
yeah,
got past seasons. I almost wanna watch it.
I know there's got to be at least some kind of like quick recap or something you can watch on YouTube or something to see how they did it. But for Terrence, even if you take race out of the equation or whatever, if they were just like forming an alliance based on whatever, just forming an alliance at this point of the game, you can't. It's just too late. Like
Yeah.
you don't have the relationship with Taylor or even Monty at this point to come up with this kind of final three with them. You just don't have the relationship.
In this season, there's no alliance right now.
Yeah,
There's truly no real I mean, there's Brittany and Michael at this point,
yeah,
but there's relationships, but there's really no true, like, alliance
yeah.
at this point at all. And
Right.
it's like you said, that's odd. Usually there's a few that are like, "You know what? These 2 got it." They got
Yeah.
to this point, it's over.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I don't know who's gonna get where. And I've got an idea that once we get a little further, I like to talk about, but let's keep this train moving.
Okay. Okay, so the show itself takes a little hiatus and break to talk about or check in on our jury, right, at the jury house. This whole thing was just so awkward. I honestly felt so bad for everybody involved.
Well, let's talk about when Joseph first walked up,
Yeah.
and when it was mainly the point that I thought was hilarious. They were walking back to the house, and Joseph was like from one bad house environment to another. I was like, "Damn, that's funny. That's a line right there. We'll hold on to."
I know you could tell that Joseph was salty even then, but I mean he was taking things good natured at least. But yeah, to be stuck with just Jasmine and just Indy going forward for a whole week, he was stuck with them, and I don't know. Although he he got along well with them in the BB house, but who knows how much that was just him playing the game.
Good editing and things like that too.
Right, like once you're out of the house and you're not going to win a grand prize for your relationships with people, then it's probably a lot
Do you
harder.
really like these people? That's
Right.
like no. I'm honest answer is probably no to a lot of them.
This is the point. So Kyle, this whole thing was awkward. So Kyle was like, "Well, let's just watch the tape and I'll explain as we go." And he was just so sheepish the entire time, and you could just tell by his body language, his voice.
Mhm. He took it
And
on the chin though.
he did, and
He just like he
he,
did in the house, he took it on the chin. He went into there, he fessed up to the conversation. He didn't let it someone from the house come in and said talk about it. He brought the conversation up, which I don't know if he could have avoided because of
yeah,
the actual footage that was gonna be played. But
right. Like he had to get out in front of this and
yeah.
tell
And
tell everybody what was going to be.
Andy's first impression of I was like, that just bugged me. I was like,
Why? Because she was so turned
just
off by it.
yeah, I think it's just playing to the camera. I hate to say that, but I think she was playing to the camera. It was so over the top. It was
I
almost like
I think
she
that's I think she's just over the top.
But it's like
She
she
was over
went
the
off
top the
camera,
entire
got a
season.
horse tranquilizer, and came back as a different person.
She probably had a conversation with a producer and came back like a different person.
I was like,
I
oh,
I mean,
maybe that was a little
that
extreme on
seemed
my part, but
yeah, a horse yeah, I don't think she took a horse tranquilizer. But yeah, like, I think that was pretty much in line with how Indy's character was the whole season, but, I mean, you could tell, like, Jasmine and Joseph was like, "Hey, I was, like, vouching for you,"
yeah,
like, they were really her and Jasmine was like she made a point too. It was like, "Well, did you think it was just, all the black people in the or it was all the minorities in the thing?" It's just like, where was your head out there, Kyle? And he really like and that he did think he thought Jasmine and Indy were in that alliance too.
yeah.
Pretty much, anybody that was non-white, he was like, "Oh, they must be in Cookout 2.0."
And
That's how
Joseph,
far it got.
it hurt Joseph. Joseph was,
Yeah,
even when they got up to walk away, you can see Joseph. He just sat there,
yeah.
and you can see it in his face. Like I need a minute.
They
Like
were they were shook, man, and I think this segment, it was short on the show. This had to be a while. I'm sure there was a lot of walking around, pacing, having to go back to this couch, and
yeah.
because they were, like, visibly just kinda shook by the whole thing,
Well,
and then they
even
had to
the
just continue watching the video.
yeah. Well, even the emotions that are shown on their face. Yeah, I think you're right. This
Yeah,
took like an hour to shoot this 5-minute shot here,
yeah.
but
But I do like checking in with the jury every season once there's a few people in there so they can kind of, compare notes,
oh, we're
around
not
the
used to
game.
this awkwardness.
No, not to this level, not yeah,
Usually
for
they're
sure.
like celebrating. Oh, you're here! Great, you're not winning.
Right, yeah,
Now it's like it was. Well, at first it was like, oh, Kyle's here. Then it
yeah.
was like Kyle was like, I don't know if I want to be here.
Yeah, but "Hey, buddy, you have to be," and
Let's roll on. Let's see
yeah.
who what else happened here.
Alright, so getting back into the Big Brother house, so this is the gentleman's agreement. What I think is gonna be a new alliance, pretty solid moving forward.
It sounded legit. They were
It
like,
did.
okay, you're not going to put up a person that you're connected to.
Right.
Each of them wouldn't. So
Yeah.
they're all keep their hands clean of the person that they are closest to, and then they'll get out the other person. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is legit. Why would this not work?
Yeah.
But the guy sitting on the couch is the not the couch, but the bed is the reason why it didn't work. I
That's why
mean,
it didn't work, and he said basically by his own confession, he told them what they wanted to hear, but he wasn't into being in a
he is
final
never
3 with
buying.
them.
And once again, this
Yeah.
is you like you were saying, this is another alliance trying to form this late.
Right.
But in
Yeah.
reality, though, these three had been working together within a larger group for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like it's a new alliance, it's just a faction of that alliance.
Right.
And I don't understand why it didn't work. I mean, Michael could have sucked it up and at least done it for a week or two and then figured out what was going on from there.
Yeah, and I can't tell what happened behind the scenes because ultimately it's Monty that breaks this thing up. I mean, Monty's the one that decides to take the shot and during the double eviction put Michael up.
Well, yeah, even
Um,
Turner was like, you got to make sure this goes down
right,
because
and
this is
it
on
doesn't fall
me.
back on me. Yeah,
Yeah.
Turner's good about that. It's like, yeah, I don't mind what you do as long as it doesn't have blowback on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a gentleman's agreement, which is an agreement that doesn't last very long. Um, here was a shot of Terrence leaving the house. He's like,
He
I got to
just went
pull a
out like
Daniel.
yeah, no. I didn't even like his excuse.
Pour
I
one out
wanted to
for
pay
Terrence. Yeah,
yeah, I wanted to do my best impression of Daniel. Come on. No,
he
you were just bitter. That's
he
all that
didn't want to
was.
hug. He was over being in this house. I think he was over being the oldest person in this house. I think the Zingbot thing. He didn't laugh when Zingbot got him. He was just like, "Oh man." I think he was just not enjoying himself anymore this week. He knew he was done, and he was done. He didn't want to do the whole hug goodbye. Oh yeah, miss you.
All
See
the
you outside the
fakeness,
house.
yeah.
He just wanted to get out that damn door and talk to Julie. And I honestly, I that might have been me. If I had a week like his or a season like his at this point, I couldn't say that I wouldn't be doing that same thing. Just like I'm done.
I mean, I would
Bye.
probably play nice. I wouldn't stick around.
Yeah.
Quick things, boom, 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 and then out the house. See you guys later type thing.
Yeah.
And some of them have like taken so long to get out the house. We're like, why is Julie not forcing them out?
Right.
I would have been like, see ya, bye, good night, good luck, peace. I wouldn't have
Michael's
run.
exit. I didn't get a shot of Michael's exit. I wish I would have, but it was even faster than this one.
Oh, he was like, don't get up. I've got something to say.
And
And he
then he
walked
like
right.
pretty much runs to the door.
I was like, what a punk move. That was bitter. That
Oh.
was sour grapes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's what that was. That was somebody had their boxers in a bunch.
Yeah.
He was upset that he got bettered.
He
And
was.
honestly, he should have been out a long time ago.
This is the point of the, this is after Julie lets them know that they're playing for a double eviction tonight. Turner wins this competition that I couldn't follow all the
Oh yeah, I
different lights
stopped.
and stuff.
Originally, I
Yeah,
tried to start it. I was like, "Yep,
I
no, I'm
tried
not even
to.
trying."
I was like, it's too late. It's like 10:30 or something. Like I can't do it anymore.
Old man eyes.
Yeah, I was getting old
After
man
staring at a
eyes.
computer all day, you don't just think I know.
Yeah, no thanks. No more lasers. But Turner actually gets it. It stayed pretty competitive throughout the game, but Turner squeaks it through, and Turner's gotten his own fair share of competition wins
He's
this
got now
season.
3 HOHs, and does he have at least one veto?
Yeah, I think he might. So not near Michael's, but for a
He's the
typical
most like
competitor,
decorated one in the house now.
yeah.
I think by a long shot.
So this is the point. Look at Monty's face. He's just waiting for Turner, like, all right, man, I know what you're about to do, and it's gonna get crazy. So of course he takes down or Monty takes down Alyssa, and Turner ends up putting Michael, on the block. Um
Michael and Brittany sitting next to each other. Brittany was
oh
heartbroken.
yeah, no, I skipped it. So this is his first nominations. This is how he starts out. He puts up
Oh, okay,
Alyssa.
okay. Well,
He
I
puts up
fast forward a
Alyssa
little
and
bit.
Brittany. Yeah, we didn't get through. I skipped ahead too. So he puts up Alyssa and Brittany. This veto competition, Monty pulls out. This was kind of a unique. I've never seen a
I
competition like
didn't
this on Big Brother
see
before.
Michael winning this one. Michael's too tall and lanky to
Yes,
win
I
this
thought so
one.
too.
Turner, Alyssa, Taylor. I didn't see Monty winning it. I didn't pull Monty.
I didn't think Monty was going to win because Monty's really tall too, and he's lanky. He's got long limbs. But I think what he did instead of trying over and over again, because it's like you weren't sure. Like I don't think you had to get it entirely untangled to
But you
have
had to
enough
get it
slack,
enough, yeah.
but you had to get enough. And I think Michael tried like 2 or 3 times,
And he
and then
was,
he had to go
wasting
back.
time.
And Monty just was like slower, steadier, and he just happened to have enough. One of those
Just
first
enough, I
try.
think.
Yeah, yeah, he pushed his way through it. He ended up getting it in, and Monty got the veto win. And this, you talk about do or die. I mean, for Michael, pretty
This was
much
it.
every veto's been do or die, but he's
Yeah, the
always been
veto
able to
one
pull it
was
out.
the head household is whatever.
Yeah,
The veto one were the ones that he needed to win from here on out.
yeah. This is the backstage shot before they go to commercial break. I loved all the hushed conversations during a double eviction.
Yeah, they
With
kind of went off and said, I'm in this room, come to me.
yeah,
I'm like, that's pretty smart. Rather than trying to scramble and talk to everybody or not talking to anybody and just
yeah,
doing something stupid.
and
I'm over here. Come on.
and this is the moment we called it earlier when Turner's like, we got to do it now, but make sure it doesn't fall back on me.
Yeah, yeah. You do it, you better have the votes to complete the job.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, I felt terrible for her. She was
I did too.
heartbroken sitting next to him there.
Yeah. She was, well, on different levels throughout the different moments. She was extra heartbroken. Like, yeah, right now she's heartbroken because she's sitting next to him. And you could tell already he's pissed.
Yeah, he gets
Michael's
pissed and he's
upset.
running through his head like, what
What am I gonna do?
what can
Yeah.
I do? What can I say? What he's that super brain, super
It,
fan is spinning.
it is.
What
And
can I do to salvage it? And look at her face. I
I
mean,
know, dude.
dude, you picked a picture looks like a damn woodchuck. That is messed up. I mean, there's some bad pictures, but that's a messed up picture. He threw her under the school bus, ran
Yeah.
her over, and then backed up.
It was a double-decker bus. Yeah.
I mean, and she is heartbroken. Like she wasn't even campaigning against him when she spoke first. So if he spoke first, I think she would have scrambled a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think she knew she was safe. You know what I mean? Sitting
Yeah.
there, she knew the outcome. Without
Right.
anyone telling her the outcome, she knew what was going to happen. And him just pulling that, I don't know. I understand when Julie's talking to him, I understand his logic. Like he had to do something, say something, or he'll never forgive himself for not trying.
Yeah.
But I thought that was drastic for someone that you've been so tight with almost for 2 months. You know, all your gameplay has been connected,
Yeah.
and knowing that it was going to cut her deep when he said something like that.
It's for Michael, I think it's been this hard balance between morality and winning this game of Big Brother, being a super fan. It happened with the questionable decision making around the Kyle thing, and it showed up again here tonight as far as throwing your number 2 for the season under the bus so hard before walking out that door. And he did give a good argument. Look, he
Oh yeah,
was
even to listen, everyone was like, you know what? He was thinking, he was giving us
yeah,
reasons to keep him, and they were legitimate
yeah,
reasons to keep him. But they had to stick to their guns because if
yeah,
they didn't get him now, he was going to win because he would have
yeah.
been playing pissed. And
Nobody
he
wants to sit there at the end with him. Nobody.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. There's no way because not only is all of his competitions, he will have an answer for every single question, and it will be thought out and precise.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone else there could have done that.
So yeah, not a kind of another awkward moment here. This is a great season so far for awkward moments, I tell you.
The
BB24
hurt on
awkward
his
season.
face and him looking like he's going to go find a piece of wood. It's
Boy,
just.
Zingbot 2.0 here.
I was
Um
disappointed in Zingbot, so I had to go after
Yeah,
him.
you're gonna write your own jokes. He goes out there, he talks to Julie, and immediately he's like, she asked him, like, do you think they made the right choice? And he was like, oh, yeah, yeah, they did the right
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
But
he
he
knew
knows.
why. He knew everything about it. He was bitter,
Yeah,
but he understood. As a fan of the show, he understood.
right.
So I
He's,
just wish he went out differently because I enjoyed him in the house.
I did too.
I wish he handled the whole thing with Brittany better. I wish he handled leaving the house better. It just made him look spoiled. That's really what it was. It's a little. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I think there's a mix there. There's a mix of frustration because you busted your ass so much, and because of your own efforts, pretty much people have been gunning for him for weeks now, and because of his own efforts, he's been able to come out on top and stay in that house as long as he's been able to stay. And for all that to finally come crashing down, that's frustrating. But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, is it really worth throwing Brittany under the bus as hard as you did on your way out? You know, it's not
Yeah,
going to change anything.
he may have
Um,
just damaged a friendship. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
she
'Cause
was hurt. I
yeah,
didn't get the clip here, but she was legit, like, crying when they went back to the house to
there's going to
find
have to be.
Monica.
'Cause I don't know. I'll show my cards here. When they actually get out of the house, there's got to be an actual conversation about how that ended. If he
Yeah.
wants to salvage any type of relationship, or if she wants to, she's gonna have to
I don't
sit
know
him
if he
down.
does. I get the vibe from him that he was here for the money, and I don't know if he cares to talk to anybody else outside of this house. I don't know. I don't get that
Yeah,
vibe from
that's a
him.
weird vibe I got from a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy that they were like truly friends
Right.
for like the long term.
Anyway, so this is where we're at now as far as who's standing
I've
here.
been calling Turner for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been calling Turner for a real long time. But before we get in that, I want to go ahead and do this real quick. Hey guys, if you've been joining us for the first time, thanks for joining us. It's great. We love you guys here. We are a live interactive show. So anytime you guys have a comment or anything, just let us know. We'll pull it up, we'll address it. Uh, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do this right now every Friday night to go ahead and recap the week of Big Brother. But we're also doing what we call the after show. We do that Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. That's basically all the big shows that are out right now. Your Lord of the Rings show, your uh, House of
Game
the
of Thrones,
Dragon,
House of Dragon, yeah.
Welcome to Wrexham. We're doing. I mean, Andor is coming soon. So if you enjoy any of those shows, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button, join the community, and join us for the ride. But I
A lot
want
of
to
black
address
and
this
white.
picture. What's
Yeah.
that?
I was just saying a lot of black and white pictures here.
Let's address this here. I've been on the Turner train for a while,
Yeah.
and I think I'm gonna fall off it.
Okay,
I
really?
I think I'm backing off it, and the reason being, there's one thing that we did not address during this whole rewind.
What's that?
The 3 girls were talking about forming their own thing. The 3 guys decided to,
Yeah.
the 3 girls were, and I think now that Michael's gone, I think they're gonna pick the guys off. Because now Turner can't compete. Monty is the only guy that can compete in the next head household.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be the 3 women versus Monty. And one of these has to be an endurance. And Monty is a muscle bound dude. Muscle needs oxygen.
Ooh, do you think they're gonna pull the endurance competition out for this head of household competition?
I think there's a couple. I think we're going to see 2 within the last few.
Oh,
I
that
think
would
we're going to see
be
2 endurance because we've only seen 1 endurance to this point, and typically there's more than 1 endurance competition.
yeah.
So I think we're going to see 2. And with it being this one here, I mean Taylor won the last one. There's no
I
reason
think
Taylor or Alyssa couldn't win this one.
I honestly I agree with you for the most part. I think it really depends on which one of the women end up being head of household because if you're Taylor, then I think realistically you want to sit next to either Brittany or Alyssa at the final 2. Um, Turner's had too much game, been too involved, and is too well liked in the house. And Monty, kind of the same thing. Like, there's no guarantee that you're going to win over Monty. If she's sitting with Brittany or if she's sitting with Alyssa, I think she would have a
Because she'll have
I
2 HOHs. That would be her second HOH.
right.
Brittany she hasn't won anything, if I'm
No, she's got the
correct.
perception of just kind of being riding on Michael's coattails the whole time,
And
right?
Alyssa
So
hasn't won anything. So in
yeah.
For Taylor's best for her game is to be with the 3 girls. For the 3 women to stick
Um,
together, I think it's the best for her.
but say if a Brittany or an Alyssa actually pulls out a win here, which it's not likely given the rest of the season, but it could
Yeah.
happen now that we're down to the wire
We're getting
here.
slimmer and slimmer. Someone's got to win. And the
Yeah,
only one in this group that has really won anything, I mean, it really is Turner, the most,
Turner the
decorated one.
most. I think Taylor's gotten one or two. But
Yeah.
like if you're Brittany, I can see you being intimidated by sitting next to Taylor. If you're Alyssa, I could see you being intimidated sitting next to Taylor.
But
But
I
it's
can
like,
see that wanting to sit next to her over one of the guys. Because the
yeah,
guys have been instrumental in the leftovers. They can say they've done this, they've done that. They were able to sway people to do this. I don't think Alyssa has those type of answers. I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
Brittany truly has those type of answers. She said, "Well, I've done this with Michael," but my response would be, "What did you do without Michael?"
Realistically, could Brittany or Alyssa win over the other three at all?
If they vote for them, it'll be in spite alone.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
don't
think
think
you're
it will
right.
be because I mean this is a social game as well, just
Right,
like in Survivor. There's been a few years in Survivor where the best player didn't win because he pissed off too many people.
right. Yeah, that is part of
So
the game.
yeah, so I don't think Alyssa's made anyone angry, and I truly don't believe Brittany has. I mean,
No,
no, I'll take that back. The whole thing that happened last week, I think Brittany may have spoiled
she
some
she
of the
was a part of
goodwill.
that. She was a part of that for
Yeah.
sure.
So Alyssa and Taylor, I think, have the most goodwill within the jury.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the 3 women. They're going to stick together. They're going to go to the final 3. They're going to pick off the 2 guys.
There's a good chance of that, especially now that you mentioned that Turner's not going to be playing for this
And they
head
were
of house.
also pointing out how there's never been 3 women at the end.
Right.
So they want that. Taylor so badly wants to win it to be the first woman of color to win.
Hmm.
So if she brings the 3 ladies with her, she's got the strongest game, the biggest claim to the throne.
I love it. I So far this season, I never lost interest. I'm right here up and make no mistake, we're running up to the end here. We've got maybe 2 more weeks of Big Brother
I
left.
was wavering at one point. I was
Yeah,
really wavering. I was like, man. And my biggest problem with these type shows is it demands so much time.
it does. Yeah,
That's I think that's why I fell out of watching them for a while. So it's like, you know what, you want this day and you want that day. Sometimes they want 3 days in a week. They're all an hour long. Sometimes like last what Thursday night, it was 2 hours long. I'm like, ugh.
I know. And you're never used to like a soccer game or
Uh,
baseball games that play three
Full
times a week.
transparency, I'm missing the second half of my soccer game tonight to do the show.
I know that's a big deal.
Oh, well, I'm gonna catch it. but I
Right.
can't watch it live, and that is huge to me. So,
Yeah.
but nevertheless, made a commitment. Gonna
Yep.
hold to it.
Speaking of soccer, Chris mentioned it earlier. We discuss Welcome to Wrexham, a show on FX and Hulu. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, they bought a team over in Wrexham in Wales across the pond. It's a documentary, kind of a comedy documentary series about them, buying this team and trying to whip it into shape, basically.
There was an
Um,
interesting interview Rob did on Dan Patrick
mhm,
about like this week's episodes and everything. About they're looking to remodel the stadium, and we know how old the stadium is. And
yes.
my first thought came to like, I mean, they're even talking about it now. What if they want to basically completely remodel Soldier Field or Lambeau Field?
Mm.
How would the public take that? I'm like, how do you remodel a stadium that is that iconic? That you know, yeah, iconic's the best way to put it to
I
the area
there's
and everything.
There's a way to make updates without remodel. Yeah, that's harsh. That could be a serious contentious discussion, especially with that fan base over
Yeah,
there.
but
How
yeah, if you
much
guys want to
pride
hear
they
us
put
talk
in.
about that, that's
Yeah.
that's for Sunday morning. So before when you're actually eating, your buffalo wings and everything, when you're getting ready for the football game, and you're tailgating, throw us up on that big TV and listen to us talk about that stuff as you prep for your Sunday games this week.
Yeah, right now we're talking about Welcome to Wrexham. We're talking about Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and also the new Lord of the Rings show, Rings of Power, that's on Amazon Prime. A few weeks we'll be talking about Andor on Disney Plus. There's a bunch of great TV and streaming that's going on right now, and Chris and I cover it every Sunday at 10 a.m. live, or you can watch us afterwards.
There we go. So until we see you on, hopefully we'll see you Sunday morning. You know what? Expect the unexpected.
See ya.